Good morning. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Welcome once again to Dork Duck Daily, the show with all the news you nerd and sometimes other things going on too. It's a Monday. It's definitely a hey, we our kids are back and we have to bring the kids to school Monday, which meant I said like usually. So, like, other people in the house set alarms. You know, the kids sometimes set alarms. Selena sets alarms, but like I'm the if I don't wake up, things are gonna go not well person. Like I'm the person who has to get everybody up, and so like especially on like the first Monday back, I'm like very like okay, yeah. But I was very much like okay, we need to be up by 6:30 and moving, so I'm gonna set an alarm for 5 because that's gonna be I'll probably sleep through it, or I'm creating a system of failure, right? Like it's like the 5 o'clock alarm probably won't work, but then at least we'll start the process so that I'm up and around by the time I need to be. And this morning was one of the weird instances that my body was just like, nope, we are wide awake at 5. Like that first one went off, and I was up. Um, so, what's up, Lindsay? Good morning. Good morning, GU. Congrats on getting first GU. Says I happened to check online right when you came on, apparently. Nice. Also, let me know if there's any sound issues. I'm trying to experiment with getting this right and better, and I know a couple people over on that watch after the fact on YouTube, because it goes over on the Dork Duck Daily YouTube over there. Kind of instantly gets broadcast there at the same time, and then people can, because they have a couple people that have been tried and true were Rad Raptor radio listeners for years, and like now they just don't Twitch and don't super want to, which is fine. But a couple of them had messaged in and said that the audio on the YouTube was like a little bit like low, and they had to crank everything up to be able to hear it. And so, and we're still, and that was post everything changing with our board and stuff. So we're gonna keep trying and keep messing around here. And yeah, I appreciate everyone. Sounds good so far. Thank you, Linksy. Yeah, I appreciate everyone letting us know, because it's always a moving target, and then we can't ever. It always sounds fine and looks fine on this end, but it's always the question of what's going out. G says I never set alarms and I instinctively wake up on time. If an alarm is set, though, I will sleep through it as if my brain decides to spike the alarm. I just have. I used to be that way. I used to kind of casually wake up, and then, my parents would wake me up for school or whatever. Sometimes, I had my own alarm too, but yeah, I would for the most part wake up around the time that. But there's just the stakes are too high now. There's too many. If the kids are late to school or don't make it to school, it's kind of on me. So, yeah, you got your Pete. That's right. I don't think it's. Can you?
Do you have something to say?
Okay, there we go.
You have something to say?
Yep, I'm gonna crank your mic up too. It was like not picking you up at all.
Oh, Pete, no. Pete, no.
Stu says he looks big. I know Lena is small, but is Pete big? Yes, both those things is true.
Oh, he just pulled the thing off the microphone. Okay, I set you down then. Okay, you've caused enough chaos, huh?
Yeah, he's a big dude. But yeah, Pete's big. He's gigantic. Void Kitty chose anarchy. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like there's too much. I want to start setting an alarm and getting up at 5 and writing, but I need to set up a writing station that's not gonna like. If I sat right here and wrote Selena would.
Well, what you need to do is then we just need to go to bed at like 10 o'clock every night,
Yeah.
essentially. Because if we wake up at 5, that's 7 hours of sleep. That's acceptable. Pete, what are you
The
doing?
problem is if I go to bed at 10 o'clock every night, I'm gonna wake up at 3 every morning. It's like the end of the day, we need to figure out a way that we can go to bed at different times, probably, because you need more sleep than I do. Or we need to wake up at different times. One of those two things needs to happen. He's a little destructive. Little dude.
Destroy.
Juice said also Sweet Pea ate today. I've discovered he's smart. Other corn snakes get confused about food. He finds it right away and very efficiently strikes. Again, frozen, thawed, no cry. Yeah, snakes are cool. I'm not super good at taking care of animals, so I can't add to the cats are in it. Cats work for me in my brain because like it's a lot of taking care of cats is so passive. I'm not sure I could succeed.
I mean, I'm the one who cleans their litter boxes and feeds them.
Yes. You do a much better job taking care of the cats than I do.
I am the giver of food and the cleaner of the litter. Now I know how my grandma felt when she was always like, for some reason, I think she was trying to teach me like responsibility. She put my cat's litter box in my bedroom, in my closet.
Yeah.
And that sounds like mean, but like my closet was like not a walk-in closet, but it was like a bit bigger than our closet, and like you could kind of walk into it, and like she like laid down a mat and everything, and like it was like a clean area, and she just wanted to teach me to clean the cat litter box. Unfortunately, I was just like,
what if I didn't?
I don't care. Like I don't care. I would rather, if the smell got to me, I would just like complain about it, or I would leave the room. And like now I'm like the opposite person. Who knew it?
Yeah.
28, I wouldn't have the same 12-year-old about it, but
it's so funny because it's like that like weird like empathy too. Well, and it's just like before you moved in, I was like a bug murderer, right? And the now it's just I'm always like I'm thinking about the internal life of these bugs that are like inherently pests. But like the John Oliver last night in his like whole special on internet censorship and moderation, which like would appeal to a lot of people that hang out here because they have to do that in a lot of spaces. He compared the difficult work of moderation to the Animorphs covers, and how it's like on one end of the spectrum it's very obviously something that's like hate speech, but at the start it's a child, and like where in those middle transfer lines do you go like, yep, that's definitely it? And compared to like he showed an Animorphs cover of a kid turning into a spider, and it's just like obviously you want to smash the spider, but you don't want to smash the kid, but where in the in between? And it's like I
don't want to smash the spider either.
You've broken me to where it's just like I don't want to smash any of these things. So that's the like insanity of like where all that stuff has landed for me now, and like trying to figure out how to take care of like when we have bug problems and mice problems and stuff, but do it ethically for the sake of the feelings of the creatures that we're trying to get rid of, which is like a new approach I have to wrap my head around.
Do you care if I completely reset this computer?
Go for it.
Really? I can just erase everything off of it?
I've obviously not used it.
Okay. Well, because I know sometimes people are like, oh my god, there's like important stuff on there.
I mean, maybe scroll through the documents or something just to make sure, but I really don't.
It looks like it's a copy of everything that we already have.
Yeah, I'm not too stressed about it.
Okay.
Lindsay says I used to let all bugs live until I got bit by a poisonous spider. Then I got scared because we got lots of them here now, and I have small kiddos. That's fair. Yeah. There are some pests that are, you know, dangerous, and then once you have children, it becomes a whole different thing. Snoopy said my approach to that stuff: if you're in my house, I'll kill you the most cruel way. If it's outside, I'll relocate you and leave you be. That used to kind of be that was where I drew the line of just like, hey, even if you're in my house, if I don't see you, I don't care. It's if I start seeing you.
It's like for me, I've been in places that I shouldn't be before, and like
Sam said Smasher Past Spiders was not on my bingo board for the stream today. What were you saying? Sorry.
what?
I cut you off. What were you saying?
Oh, sorry, I'm also distracted by this. But I've been in places I'm not supposed to be before, and nobody smashed me.
Yeah.
So like, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, their only crime is being somewhere that they're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, even mice and stuff. Like, even the pests that people are like more like, oh my god, I am deathly afraid of mice. Like, in the way that like, not that I think they're gonna bite me or something. But I'm afraid of getting like the viruses that they have because that's how my brain works. I have like anxiety about that stuff. But I would never kill one. Like the worst that I will ever do is like take it in like a Tupperware container and put it outside. Like that's I can't do it. I don't want to.
G says spiders are good for the environment, and we kill them due to pesticide companies. This is true. Look at is the spider venomous list on the bottom. Many say the pesticide companies as the credit. That's quite potentially true, but I've also, not just Linksy, but I've met other people that have like, there was a guy while I was growing up that got hospitalized for a long time due to like spider bites, and it was just it was a bad spider.
How do you reset a computer?
I just reformat it. I can.
It's in the control panel, right?
Kind of.
Okay.
I can walk you through
I
it.
know how to figure it out. I just needed to know if it was there.
Also, they symbolize protection for the lower class in most traditions. That's interesting. All those lists lie about how venomous spiders are. Yeah, but there are some venomous ones out there.
Jumping spiders make great pets.
Jumpy spiders are adorable.
They're like little cats. Like, have you ever watched one? Like, have you like waved at one? They look at you. They like see you, and they're like, they're the cutest things that I've ever seen. Well, not. I hate saying the cutest things I've ever seen because, like, I don't know, that I feel bad for other spiders or bugs or something. But like, they're adorable, and I don't remember if there was ever a time in my life where I like smashed bugs. Though, to be fair, like.
That was my go-to for years.
I'm trying to think back to when I was a kid, even, because, like, I don't think so.
I remember I smashed a spider in front of someone that is a friend now, and this is probably like 10, 15 years ago. I smashed a spider in front of him, and then he was just like, ugh. Like, he had like this reaction, like, I don't like when people do that. And I was just like, what? And it was, at that time, it was such a foreign concept to me.
Yeah.
Especially, and definitely, since that's usually like since my first interaction like that was with another guy too, as opposed to, because so much is coded into, like, I think if it would have been a woman first who was just like, no, keep the spider alive, it might not have sunk in as much as another dude just being like, what the fuck, man? Like, it was looking at me like I was a sociopath for smashing the spider, but I would never consider not smashing the spider before. Like, it was a very weird experience that's just kind of changed. That was the one piece of thread that's been slowly pulling on it. And Snoopy said that leads to too much damage inside, so I'll kill the bugs, critters in the house. I have lots of outside space that can be utilized. However, these things don't have humanity, and I can't exactly have a discussion with the mice and bugs to say, hey, in this area, you're fine. I agree with all that. But then I also am now landing in the mode of just like, yeah, we should probably not be so casual about murdering things. And so, like, I don't know that I have a solution there.
Like, think about it. What if something came down from the sky one day that was way bigger than you, and you couldn't communicate with it, and was like, you're in my space, but you don't know that it's telling you that because you can't communicate with it, and then they smack you, or smash you, or smoosh you, or whatever.
Yeah.
How is that fair? to you?
I mean,
Eat.
sure.
Do you want out?
Although I would also like not feel anything after that point. I'd just be dead.
You would be dead. Yes, I'm
So,
aware.
like-
But like, think about it like that, like
No,
aliens or whatever.
what's like, and I'm not the person you have to convince here because it's like I have been slowly pushed in this direction. But like,
You act like I like bullied you into giving a shit about other living, breathing creatures.
no, I'm just. I didn't say you bullied me into it.
You
I also
I've been
said it
pushed
didn't
in
even-
that direction.
I also said it didn't even start with you. It started with someone else. Sam says there's a lot of capitalism involved in pesticides and vermin control. Yeah, and it's often associated too with like how wealthy you are or aren't is associated with whether there's bugs around or not. Lindsay said, well, I got bit by a false widow on the day of my mother-in-law's funeral, and believe me, it hurt. That was like the worst day ever in every way. I imagine. Like, that sounds not good. G says they are, but black widows, for instance, are statistically unlikely to bite. In fact, they are only due when being crushed. Brown recluse do, though. Yeah, and we have a lot of brown recluse around here. Vince says, morning, y'all. Good morning, Vince. Sam says, the people here are angry. I don't want to pay them to put chemicals in our yard to kill off the ants. I can just plant something they don't like and they will move along. Yeah, I think solutions like that, as we land on them, I think will be better. The problem is there's a whole cottage industry around using chemicals to kill all these things off. And I don't think that cottage industry is going to like go away instantly.
I think something is missing, Bug.
What?
I said, I think something is missing, Bug.
Oh yeah, the
microphone
thing
cover.
on your microphone.
Yeah. He
Uh,
wanted in and Pete wanted out, so I traded, and now Bug's just like, yeah, this was ugly.
Lindsay says his spider bite was because I was handling it gently to take it outside. Now I don't take any prisoners. If the spider got a booty, it's getting splattered. If it's got a booty, it's getting smashed. You heard it here first. G says the only two capable of killing a human in the U.S. are a black widow and a brown recluse. And yeah, we have a lot of brown recluse around here. G says it's important to mention folks can be allergic to. Yes. CFC's Jeff sees a spider smash. Actually, I've gotten better at it, but I had pretty bad arachnophobia where
I
like
don't like touching them.
I could even handle being the one killing them, and then that took a lot of training to be like, okay, I can be in a room with a spider and not freak out. Okay, and I can be the one smashing them and not freak out.
Oh no, I won't like touch them or anything, but like I will take like a cup or a jar or something. Like I'll be that person running around the house trying to find a container for it, like because I'm not going to pick it up in my hands.
Yeah.
I don't want to get bit either, because then I probably would accidentally smash it, because like my brain would just be like, ow, and then I'd like, yeah, and I don't want to do that, so I grab usually like a cup or something. We had like plastic cups for a while that were just like the spider cups. They're like perfect.
Sam says my joke was about the other kind of smash. Yes, I realize. I'm just saying, I had pretty crippling spider anxiety for a long time. I don't know that I'd go so far as call it arachnophobia, but it was bad. And then whenever I have like stumbled into the internet spaces where they're like, ooh, Spider Girls, right? And I'm like, nope, get it away. Like, I'm just like, I'm the very opposite of Smash in that category. Vince says, my sister got arachnophobia after watching Arachnophobia. And the next day, going to blow her nose, and when she brought the tissue to her face, a spider was in the tissue. Yeah, that's gonna make a lifelong fear right there. That's gonna do it. Also, Arachnophobia, that movie's a lot of fun. I watched that again last year. I watched The Equalizer yesterday, and let me tell you, that is the most dad movie in existence. If you have an appreciation for dad films and you've not watched The Equalizer, treat yourself. It is an exceptional dad movie. It is basically John Wick, but instead of just being like retired and riding his motorcycle around the airport, he's retired dude who like works at basically Home Depot and is just like very much trying to make the youth of America better around him, and he's Denzel Washington, and that movie is so it is like, I would say it's like porn for dads, but dads look at porn. But like it is so silly, but in the best kind of ways. It's so good. Snoopy's is so good. I love it. Number 2 is just as good. I'm gonna watch 2 and 3 probably this week. I'm very excited. Jesus, fun fact, got stung by a scorpion post-mortem. It died, and I stepped on its tail. That was always my nightmare of like traveling anywhere out west, because I got told stories of how everyone has to check their shoes for scorpions, and then knowing just how absent-minded I was. I wasn't ever scared of a scorpion stinging me. I was absolutely terrified of like putting on a shoe that a scorpion was in. That was like my nightmare.
Interesting.
What?
One of our children is signed in on.
I'm not surprised. I can help you reset that.
No, I figured it out. I just I went to Chrome and then it was like our child's account is on Chrome.
Yeah, I'm sure.
How did they do that? Like, I was not sneaky as a kid. I tried to be, but I wasn't.
Yeah. Giu says, is it the 50 Shades of Grey for dads? Like, it's not porn at all in a sexual way. It's porn in the way of just like he's.
Isn't porn inherently sexual?
Yeah, but I'm trying to use it as like a. You get what I'm trying to say about that movie. You watch some of that movie. Like it is like, I feel like if they would have released 30 more of those films, Trump never would have gotten elected, because like people would just be sitting around just like, yeah, like the good feel. It is very much a like dude get shit done movie. It is a power fantasy of a guy who like the world's a broken place, but this man who like just wants to live a quiet life as a hardworking guy, he can fix it. That's what I'm saying. Snoopy said it's action in the, if that happened when I was working at Home Depot, I could have done that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. It is that movie. It is a complete male fantasy of like, if I encountered a girl who was a prostitute and she got beat up and she looked like the girl from Kick-Ass, like I could be a completely moral person that just had like a sweet fatherly relationship with her and then went on this like massive killing spree to like.
The way you're like teeing it up is.
Am I wrong?
Complicated.
Am I saying anything wrong though?
I don't know.
It is. And Snoopy said, and as a result, you're rock hard. Yeah. It's a solid. It is porn for that piece of male fantasy of like I must
save your complex.
Yeah,
save your complex.
100%. It is. It's a good movie. It's not, but it is. In some ways, it is one of the greatest movies ever made because it knows exactly what it is, and it just is that. Does that make it one of the greatest movies ever made? No, but yes.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
It's asking me how I'd like to reinstall Windows.
I am begging you not to do this right now. But we can't.
It's done. Like, it's happening right now. I literally can shut the laptop after I choose how to reinstall Windows. It says local reinstall or cloud download. That's all I need to know, and then you can. I
don't have a disk or anything, so I guess cloud download.
Okay.
I'm not looking at the screen though, so if we break it forever, I don't want to look at the screen right now. I want to do the show right now. We're supposed to be doing.
I literally I was just trying to screen for myself.
There are other ways of doing that. that don't involve like resetting an entire computer right now. You could okay.
Got it.
She says horseflies' defense mechanism is to bite so painfully that you're too distracted to hurt them. Hello, yes, evolution's what the fuck. Yeah. Sam says I hacked my first computer at 11. Yeah, that's kind of the range that I was at with that stuff too. Also, by the way, speaking of Samuel, boom, boom. Vince's new plan: set it aflame. Exactly. Hey, there's a shout out for Sam. Last seen playing Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest. That was yesterday. Today, he starts Final Fantasy Tactics, which is one of Vince and I's, and I think Snoopy's favorite game from 8,000 years ago, when we were teenagers and liked playing video games. He starts that game today, at around 11. So, so Sam seems great. She says, wow, he seems cool. I should follow him. Exactly. Tactics? Yes, Tactics. Tactics starts today. He finished Valkyria Chronicles last week. So, very, very exciting stuff. You know what else is exciting, Selena? Lynn Marie?
What?
The news.
Oh, okay.
We have a whole segment for it. We like to call it the Daily Quack. Lindsay says, "Who is Sincerely Pam?" That is Sam branded cooking spray. Sam says, "Got to make sure my capture is working right with the PS3." Yeah, hopefully it is. G says, also the context you missed about the reason I was ranting about horseflies is I am deathly allergic to them and they wish to murder everything. Horseflies always scared me. Those were a big pool one, at least here in Michigan. It felt like whenever you were like swimming in the pool, someone would be like, "Watch out, that's a horsefly." And
I hate
Fitz says, "Isn't she from The Office?" Sincerely, Pam. Yes. And she, Sincerely, Pam falls in love with Jim's. Wait, how do I? Jimsikins. I was trying to put Jim into Cheeky Kids. I didn't get there. By the way, 2 days after laying off US-based developers, NetEase says Marvel Rivals has surpassed 40 million players.
Yay, I'm one of them.
Yes, Lena installed it last night.
I wasn't very good at it, but I think that could contribute to the fact that you and our child were like yelling right next to my face. Not literally
I was
yelling,
yelling?
but like emoting loudly, and I was like, all right, like I'm really bad at focusing with games like that, and like I was also trying to listen to you guys talk.
I was emoting loudly?
You were both emoting. You'd be
Oh.
like, oh, look at that thing. Oh, look at that thing. Oh, there's that thing. And I'm like, I can't even find an enemy, let alone what you're pointing out right now. I'm so bad at this. And I kept dying. It's terrible.
GU says that's where I got bit. A pool. Horseflies are attracted to pools because of the smell, movement, and reflection of light on the water. They are also attracted to the water as a breeding ground. You were right. I will never swim again. And G says, "Oh, good, another dev letting off devs in favor of AI. How shocking." Well, it's also the push and pull of like, hey, we have to ramp up hiring for this release, and then it's like, okay, it's been released, and then this also has like some, Trump, America, China stuff going on with it too. So, all right. Just days after confirming the layoff of employees at its Seattle studio, NetEase says it hit its hit hero shooter Marvel Rivals has now surpassed 40 million players and climbed back to the top of the Steam charts on the strength of its first season in January. Marvel Rivals topped Steam's global top sellers chart shortly after its launch on December 6th, amassing over 10 million registered users within 72 hours and over 40 million to date. NetEase said in its Q4 2024 earnings release, its Season 1 update in January 2025 sparked another surge, claiming the number one spots on Steam's top sellers and most played charts worldwide. NetEase gross profit for the quarter was RMB 16.3 billion, US 2.2 billion, which was actually down slightly from the 2.3 billion earned in the fourth quarter of 2023. NetEase says the decrease was primarily due to decreased net revenues from mobile games, though it noted that the downturn was particularly offset by increased net revenues from PC games, including certain licensed titles. Sure sounds like Marvel Rivals to me. GU says, is it good? It's not a type of game I enjoy, but I'm curious what fans of the genre think. It is the new Overwatch type. It's Overwatch. It's Overwatch with Marvel characters, and it seems for the most part, when I talk to people that play these kinds of games, they're either very wildly into it or they are bummed because they still wish all their friends were playing another game, but their friends have all moved on to this one. It is like, and good is in the eye of the beholder, but it is definitely the one of these for right now. So, G says that I got Overwatch or Valorant. Yeah, it does seem to like, it has the public consciousness in a way that one of those games hasn't had in a minute. I'm trying to think of the last one that popped at this level. Maybe Helldivers. Because it's like, I don't play these types of games. And so when they are crossing my desk on a regular clip, that's when I go like, oh, okay, this is one that is a thing. It's also led over into my real life world of like comic book stuff, in that comic book fans are not playing this game except for where there's already overlap of people that play these types of games that were already into this kind of stuff. But people are buying the comics. They're doing like cover tie-ins and stuff. And then also everyone loves Jeff the Landshark now because of this game.
I loved him before it was cool.
Selena loved him before it was cool.
That is the one thing where I'm just like, do you like Jeff the Landshark? Or is the media telling you to like Jeff the Landshark and that you like him because it's cool?
There is a stuffed Jeff the Landshark behind her somewhere.
He's somewhere.
I don't know where he's at right
behind
now.
Miku. How fitting, actually, because they added Miku to Fortnite. Which, again, did you like Miku before Fortnite? I asked my sister, I was like, so you were playing Fortnite? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, you know, they added Miku Hatsune to Fortnite. She's like, I don't know who that is. And I was like, who even are you? This is my sister that used to read Death Note and be obsessed with Hunter x Hunter, and like teenagers change really quickly.
They sure do. Nick says Lingsy says, I will not play Marvel Rivals because I know it will hook me. And then Nick said, my only complaint is, for the most part, you don't feel like a superhero, I find. I feel like I'm playing Overwatch with different supers and guns. That was my thought watching it last night, of like, this is cool, but like, these characters were, and some of them are at like wildly different power levels, and like, you don't really feel that. Nick says they did do a Jeff Landshark event with free skins, though, so people were sort of herded into him. Yeah, it was everywhere and I can tell you, just from my job, A first appearance of Jeff Landshark used to be a book you could get a hold of for about $25. It is now a book that will cost you about $300. That's
Do I have?
not currently, no.
Oh.
I've been trying. I theoretically have sourced
I have
one.
the first. It's Jeff.
That's now a $50 book too. But that is what has happened. So it's not just like, oh well, there's some free skins. It's like, by the nature of this game, people have fallen in love with this character. And in some ways, that is not, the intended like thing from anyone. It's not like they were like hoping for that, because if you look, you see those characters, right? Like that one, I forget her name, but that one Snow character, they've been trying to make her happen for the last like 5-10 years.
I like her better than I like the designs for the male characters in that
Oh, the
game.
male, that's the other thing. The male characters all look like ass in that game.
Besides Jeff.
Yeah, but he's
Spider-Man.
not like and Spider-Man's wearing a mask.
He's a boy shark.
Sure, okay. Snoopy says, I don't know what Jeff Landshark is. Jude said shark puppy. That's basically it. He's a shark
He's a
puppy. He's just he runs around and acts like a puppy, but he's a shark. Nick says, like, you're a superhero, why the hell are you so squishy? Yeah, that's a solid point. And like, when you play as the superheroes that definitely aren't squishy and like have huge crazy power levels, why aren't you just decimating the field? It's like, because it's a game, like, that can't happen. So but also that kind of messes with my head too. GU says, no, I mean, I used to read Shark Puppy on Tumblr before Jeff existed. I didn't even know that was a thing. So yeah, you get the Ultimate Hipster Award.
I thought you said it was supposed to be 50 degrees on or no, never mind, that wasn't you. Sorry, I looked down at the computer and it said temps are dropping tomorrow, and I was like,
no, it's supposed to still be cold all week.
my grandma said it was supposed to be 50 degrees on Wednesday.
She was wrong from what I've seen.
My grandma's never wrong.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. She's sometimes wrong about something. It's apparently the weather.
Nick said, if you're going to put Hulk into a game, Hulk should be a fucking ult that you can call out and you can run around pretty much invincible, except for maybe the odd stun or knockback. Yeah, I would agree. Nick says it's going on +2 here today and +4 tomorrow. Yeah, Snoopy lives in basically Canada. Like, we share a state, but like barely. So, he deals with similar temperatures. Where did I leave off here? We boldly push the boundaries of innovation once again in 2024, delivering groundbreaking gaming experiences that captivated players worldwide, NetEase CEO William Ding said. Our new hit titles not only redefine gameplay, but also set new industry benchmarks, while our legacy franchises gain fresh momentum through striking enhancements in design, storytelling, and immersive content. CEO speak is maybe one of the most infuriating things on the play. I can't. There is like so little substance to anything they say. The big numbers came just 2 days after NetEase confirmed the layoff of its US-based Marvel Rivals development team. Cuts, it says, were necessary for organizational reasons and to optimize development efficiency for the game. I'm not sure what that really means, but it doesn't appear that the game's success was an issue. Following the layoffs, NetEase emphasized the core development team on Marvel Rivals is based in China and continues its work uninterrupted. That led to some speculation that the layoffs of US-based developers was, at least in part, a reaction to the protectionist policies of US President Donald Trump. And while an element of racism can be seen in some of those claims, there's likely an aspect of truth to it. Nico Partners analyst Daniel Ahmad, who specializes on markets in Asia and MENA, said in a recent blog post that streamlining of NetEase's overseas operations comes in part from a desire to mitigate risks from the U.S. policy, U.S.-China policy changes. I would think you'd go the other way, though, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you like want to keep your U.S. team to be able to say like, it's fine, we have a team there. But I don't know enough to be able to make a smart reaction about that. And more importantly, though, he said high cost, long development cycles, and operational challenges of running these studios, particularly in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic boom, has resulted in diminishing returns.
Is there a thing that's supposed to pop up?
Yeah.
Weird. I just like having access to the emotes.
Oh, okay.
And didn't do the thing.
It didn't do the thing. That was weird. It's supposed to. She uses rich people spiting each other. Yeah. I don't know. I can go check the...
It's fine. I just was surprised it didn't do it.
Every once in a while it doesn't, but I thought it was like... Sam says it's been fun. I gotta head out and test this. Okay. See you later, Sam.
Have fun.
I can go double check the sound alerts, make sure they're working. Yeah, you didn't register on this thing. Sam says you have to run PS3s through a specific splitter to bypass HDCP. I forgot about that. I'm not sure if that is adding a delay. I completely forgot that's a thing you need to do. It's been a while since I've even messed with or dealt with PS3s. At some point we will for like doing what's that thing called? What's the game? Is it P? I wanted to call it P3, but that doesn't seem right. What is that Silent Hills demo? PT.
Oh my god.
I about called it P3.
I couldn't remember and I was like, Persona 3? I was like, I don't know. That's not it.
What's new? Sound alerts on Blue Sky. I'm trying to go. Okay, my alerts. Other alerts. This is what should... Wait, that's a gift. Generate subscription. Test and browser source. This is what should happen.
My money don't jiggle jiggle.
Yeah, it's working on this. But you, for some reason, it didn't actually acknowledge it.
Maybe it does.
That doesn't make any sense, though. Okay. Hey, Nickelodeon is finally giving us a new Avatar: The Last Airbender show. It's from Zosha Millman at Polygon. Lindsay told us PT. Thank you. Nick says, I still have PT on a console. And Vince said, treasure that console. Yeah. Sam says, Shiki has PT on other PS4. Okay, bye for real, friend. Bye! Goodbye now.
Has a good day.
GU says, PT is the only game that the name of still makes me shudder. It was a lot. It was a lot when it came out, too. Hey, we're getting more new Avatar: The Last Airbender, beyond just a live-action Netflix adaptation. On Thursday, Nickelodeon announced a new Avatar show called Avatar 7 Havens. Set in the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show is created and co-executive produced by Avatar co-creators Michael DiMartino and Brian Konietzko. And luckily, we're going to be getting a lot of it. The show has already been picked up for 26 episodes. Like Legend of Korra, these will be split into two 13-episode seasons. So far, those are just titled Book 1 and Book 2. The series description is scant, but follows life in the Four Kingdoms, the ones that lived in harmony until the Fire Nation attacked, yada yada yada, after the events of Korra. Nickelodeon's release describes the plot as Avatar 7 Havens is set in a world shattered by a devastating cataclysm. A young earthbender discovers she's the new Avatar after Korra, But in this dangerous era, that title marks her as humanity's destroyer, not its savior. Hunted by both human and spirit enemies, she and her long-lost twin must uncover their mysterious origins and save the Seven Havens before civilization's last strongholds collapse. Considering the state of Korra left the world by integrating the spirit world and the main one, there are a lot of...
This is spoiling Korra for me.
You've not watched Korra?
No, we've been over this before. You were like, oh, we'll have to watch that. And then we never did.
How have you not watched Korra?
Oh, I just haven't.
Nick says, I think I missed something because I played it and wandered around in a hall and nothing really happened. That's PT. But, like, the things that don't happen more and more and in weird ways, and it gets weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder. And, like, yeah, it's definitely in that, like, going for that Skinamarink type horror, and then it goes for outright horror towards the end. But,
Skinamarink.
Lingsy says, still the best game we never got. Imagine that was going to be the whole last Silent Hill game. It's so interesting to me because I feel like Resident Evil 7 was an answer to that, and then Silent Hills never came out.
Hello, Shiki.
Shiki!
I actually have a chat now, so I can stay updated with the chat and not, like, wait for you to say things so that I'm also aware of what's going on.
That was always an option.
Yeah, but that required me to turn this computer on and then log into everything, and it's like I could just hold it right here in my lap.
Okay.
I don't know.
I love you so much. Vince says, I love Legend of Korra. It inspired a whole Avatar tabletop RPG campaign concept that I'll likely never run, sadly. Cheeky said, what's going for Skinamarink? We're saying PT was like not obviously Skinamarink came after the fact. I was just using it as an adverb of just like Skinamarink type scares early on that led to like more exact scares. That short demo that created a whole subgenre and saying really and pushed and changed Resident Evil, because I think Resident Evil 7 only exists because of PT, which is just so funny because it's like the actual full game version never came. Shiki said, I'm still so angry we never got it. I think we're better off. Hear me out. I think we're better off that it never showed up, because now it gets to exist in our brains as this thing that like always was going to be this incredible thing. And there's no way that if it did come out that it would live up to the hype that it had like built up. It's not true. It definitely would have. Okay.
I feel like it would have, but that's just me.
She says, I think I would have died. Potentially.
What should I do with the wall over here? Because like we see that wall a lot in our stream.
Yes.
I started putting up like all my well, not all my posters, but like a couple. I got my Howl's Moving Castle one. I'll probably put my 3-0 poster up. Your favorite anime, Jeff.
Yeah.
I
like parts of that anime. I just don't like the protagonist.
don't think you're supposed to like him
Okay.
at first. I think you're supposed to be like, man, that guy. It's about character.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I've had ideas, but I was kind of letting you run with it because you seem to like have a vision.
Here's the problem. Here's my problem.
And when I just do stuff, then you're like, oh, well, that's not fully my thing.
Here's my problem.
Okay.
That I want to paint the wall.
What color you want to paint it?
I don't know. That's where I get stuck. That's my problem. Is like, I just have trouble like coming to a permanent decision on things. I just struggle with like making decisions, like picking things that are permanent, even semi-permanent. Because you can just paint the wall another color.
Yeah.
But paint is expensive.
Kinda.
I mean, it's not what I want to spend my money. But I hate this like off blue It reminds me of my childhood bedroom.
Yes.
Like, this is the exact color that my bedroom was when I was a kid.
I have always wanted to paint these walls black and then put cool stuff on the walls. And every time I've gotten close to it, along the years since I've been divorced and had like full autonomy to like just paint a room, the word would get out to like my sisters, and then there would be like almost like a complete like intervention of like, Jeff, do not paint your walls black. And
well, guess what? You paint the walls black.
I'm here for, and that's always been the thing, is like, when not black, like, then I'm always like, well, I don't know what I want to do with it then. And I was like, I'm not going to leave it black. It's just when you put stuff on the walls, it looks cool on a black wall. Like, if you just do a black wall and nothing else, like, then it doesn't look good. But like, if you do black and then there's cool shit on the wall, yeah.
And that makes everything on the wall pop too.
That's my opinion. Yeah,
I understand that. I want to paint the comic shop black because I think that would be really cool, and then just have like.
Yeah, well, and also I kind of want to make the comic shop look like a Hot Topic in the early 2000s. I want parents to feel uncomfortable.
I want parents to feel uncomfortable.
No, for real. It's like there's
this weird air of like they kind of already do if they're not like the cool comic parents. You come in and the parents are like the ones that like shop at like,
yeah, so let's go all the way with it.
No offense to people who shop at Target, but like only Target, and like they don't want to take their kids into a store that sells comic books.
But also, shit used to not be for everybody, and it was a better world. It's fine. Shiki says, I disagree. I think it broke so many hearts of so many people who passionately worked on that project. I agree with that point. I think it would have been amazing. I'm hopeful that it would have been. G says, yeah, I think Silent Hill 2 Remake and RE7 lived up to the hype. Shiki said, oh, absolutely. Silent Hill 2 Remake, in my opinion, is the best version of Silent Hill 2. Remaking beloved games with less restrictions and more resources, will always be a wonderful execution of the game. Yeah, I like that remake a lot. G said,
start it up again at some.
Yeah, you gonna go for all the endings?
Yeah, I want to try at least.
G said, I will watch it someday and not cry internally the whole time.
It's just a really stressful game to play.
It's very stressful.
Like, it's like, I realized like that, like it was physically and emotionally affecting me. And like, I think games where like you are running or like in danger pretty often, as much as I like games like that, and as much as like they fit into my like brain, I just also like can't ignore the like, oh, this is actually like triggering my like fight or flight response, like I'm like not doing well because of the games.
Yeah it's incredibly well made. Vince says, I've been loving me some Silent Hill 2 Remake, although I have some mild grievances so far, nothing that ruins the game at all, just things I would do differently. Lindsay says, blasphemy! Joking, I think they did a good job, all things considered. G says, fun fact, stress can kill me, like literally with my health. Anyways, I'm considering playing Subnautica and Parasocial. It was nice to know you, friends.
Subnautica scares the crap out of me, but just because I don't like being in water at all. Like any game where you can go under the water, I'm just like, and I'm unsettled. I don't like it.
My favorite all-time horror game, I guess if you call it that, takes place underwater a lot, which is oh gosh, what was that game? I played a bunch of it in front of you when we were first like right before you moved in. The name of that game?
Soma?
Yeah.
I played it. You made me play it.
I don't. No, I wish I made you play it because then we would have finished it.
You did. You did make me play it. You didn't make me play it on stream or anything. It was like when we were first starting to hang out and you were like, I want you to play this game.
Yeah, Soma. It is That is one of my all-time
Because I
favorite
remember you were like,
games.
"Do you know the twist? Have you figured the twist out yet?" And I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I still don't fully know. My brain hasn't."
Vince, do you know anything about Soma? Please, no one tell him anything. But
Yeah.
like, that's a game I need to watch Vince play. Shiki said, "Did you tell her there's a safe mode, Jeff?" There is now. There wasn't back when I played it. Okay. I will, Vince, I will purchase that. It's a cheap game. It's like, so you don't have to feel guilty about it, but it's like $20-$30. I will buy you a copy of it digitally, because I don't even know if a physical copy exists, and you can play it on your PS. That should move up. That should be your next like non-Silent Hill 2 remake game. So like, because you can get through it in a week or two and you're gonna love the fuck out of it. Shiki says, "Oh Vince, you'll love it. I would love to see you play it. It's one of my favorite horror games ever. It's so good. It's yeah. I will be thinking about that game for the rest of my life." Okay. Agatha all along's Jack Schaefer to direct Disney Plus Holes TV show. Are you excited? It's from Ty Gooden over at Nerdist.
I'm gonna go get a Dr. Pepper. That iced coffee was not good. It was like meh. It's iced coffee. Like it satiated the iced coffee need, but
Yeah, it didn't do it for you.
no, it's like
Are you excited about a Holes TV show? If you're a teen or preteen in the mid-2000s, shout out to us millennials, this person Ty Gooden says, then you probably remember Holes, the 2003 comedy based on the 1998 book of the same name. It starred Shia LaBeouf as a teenager who's wrongfully accused of theft and ends up doing 18 months of hard time at a juvie detention center where he, well, has to dig holes. You okay?
it went to stretch and I almost fell over.
Please don't die. Shiki says, "I'm tired, Grandpa. Well, too damn bad. Everything needs a TV show now and a reboot, and it's forever." Holds a special place in many folks' heart, and now a new generation will get to experience this adventure. Variety reports that Disney Plus has picked up the pilot for a gestating Holes TV series. Additionally, CBR reports that Agatha All Along creator and showrunner Jack Schaefer will direct the pilot for the Holes reboot. Here's a logline for a show. In this reimagining of the beloved 1998 book from Lewis Schaefer, a teenage girl is sent to a detention camp where the ruthless warden forces the campers to dig holes for a mysterious purpose. Outside of a gender swap with the main character, it seems this Holes Disney Plus TV show will mostly follow the same beats. Is her name still going to be Stanley then? Or are they going to pick a different name to do backwards? I mean, I guess they're going to be girls named Stanley. That's just interesting. James says, "Hey, good news. This one won't star Shia LaBeouf." I mean, that's the one bright light on this, is he's apparently a garbage human. So, Lindsay says to Shiki, "There's quite a cute game free on Epic called Garden Story. It reminds me of a lot of things you seem. I've heard of that somewhere." She says Brittany Yenterb. So it's gonna be a girl this time in Holes. To which I said, "Is it still gonna be Stanley? Or are they gonna pick a different name to go backwards? Because Stanley Yelnats." To which Giu suggested Brittany Yetnerb. Sam says, "I don't know why people are so surprised that actors end up being bad people. They're paid to convince you they aren't themselves." That's my point. That's the thing I've been saying. Sorry. It's the thing I've been saying for years. That maybe the ability to effectively, he's very cute,
I know.
convince other human beings that you are exhibiting an emotion that you are not currently exhibiting, and being a bad person are things that overlap. Maybe. Cheeky says, Jesus Christ, Jeff, LMAO. It's one of those things I've been saying since I started my existence, that like it's good to see someone else coming to the same conclusions, because it drives me crazy. I feel like a crazy person sometimes. It was very, reading someone else say that was very helpful. Cheeky says, I was so devastated to see that his rehabilitation was just him hiding from his actions. I was rooting for him and learned it was ill-placed faith. Yeah. G said, this is why I'm attracted to Iwan Rion, who plays villains 90% of the time. It is very excited about Waterfall. I don't know who that person is. I'm going to Google them, because I don't know them. Welch appeared in Vicious, Riviera, Inhumans, and Those About to Die, as well as The Dirt. I watched The Dirt, the Motley Crue movie, but I don't remember him. The Misfits and Ramsey Bolton in the HBO series Game of Thrones. I was always behind on watching Game of Thrones, and then it didn't end well from everyone's seeming opinions that it didn't end well. So like I was kind of just like, well, I guess I don't have to get around to watching that. He apparently is in the audiobook of Howl's Moving Castle. Sausage guy from Game of Thrones. Thank you, Nix. Torture Man, yeah. Gio says, every time I find him hot, people are like, why? And I'm like, I don't find Ramsey Bolton hot. Shiki says, I still think it's worth a watch. I loved it. Wasn't a fan of the end either, but the show overall was excellent. I'll give it a watch at some point. Because Gio finds that actor hot, and so and I didn't know who he was, and so.
You ever seen Game of Thrones?
We've talked about. I've seen like the first season or so.
Oh.
And,
Yeah. Never mind. I remember now.
Okay.
I remember your Game of Thrones experience.
Nick says it tapered off towards the end, but it was still a lot of fun. Lindsay said, I haven't seen Game of Thrones, but I've not heard one person say anything good about the ending, and I'm actually intrigued at what they could have done to make it so bad. The one thing I saw that cracks me up every time is just like the Starbucks cup on set, which was like not the biggest fault of that last season, but it's maybe showing off like the symptoms of a lot of the problems it seemed to have. They ran out of source material. A lot of things happened at the same time. They ran out of source material. The creators also had like these big deals that they were really looking forward to getting to, where they were about to make like a ton of money, and so they were focused on that stuff. And then they shit the bed so hard on ending their first thing that those deals evaporated too. So it was very much this like, well, we don't need to pay attention to this thing anymore. Let's pay attention to this other stuff. And then it was like they ended up managing to fuck up their other stuff it's a really interesting story and just creative media and stuff. But she says, yeah, exactly. It still brings me joy that the pair of directors that dumped the show and put at least 2 seasons of material into one so they could move on to bigger and better projects aren't working. Yeah. It's like a very it's like one of those like almost fairy tale level stories of like karma and reality. She says, okay, so all you need to know is Ewan Rand is that when he was asked what he thought of the character, he said he could not wait for him to die a violent death when everyone was defending their characters. So 10 out of 10. I love that. Yeah, that's great. Hey, Marvel and DC Comics have announced the first crossover event in decades.
What now? What?
Marvel and DC Comics have announced the first crossover event in decades. This is from Eric Diaz over.
Is this a good thing for us?
This is going to be a very good thing for us. Yes. It will.
I mean, like, sure, but also, is it going to make my brain hurt?
What do you mean?
Is this going to make my brain hurt?
I need more. What do you mean by that?
Is this going to be a bunch of complicated, like, convoluted tie-ins?
It's going to be 2 issues. So
okay. I guess I can sit with 2 issues.
This is from Eric Diaz at Nerdist, who says it's been over 2 decades since the last significant crossover between comic book giants Marvel and DC. Since that time, Marvel became a subsidiary of Disney, while DC became an important IP for its owners, Warner Brothers. So the prospect of another crossover between universes happening again seemed like a pipe dream. But thanks to Comic Beat, we've learned that Comics Pro Retailer Summit in California, DC editor-in-chief Marie Javins and Marvel editor-in-chief CB Cebulski announced a new 2-part crossover over 2 one-shots. Marvel will publish Marvel/DC, with DC publishing DC/Marvel. Both publishers revealed no other details at this point. The last major DC Marvel crossover event was Justice League/Avengers, written by Kurt Busiek and drawn by the late George Perez. This 4-part mini-series marked the end of an era. From the 70s to the 2004, DC and Marvel crossovers were semi-regular events. In the 90s, the Marvel vs. DC miniseries led to Amalgam Comics, which saw DC and Marvel heroes mashed up together. But recently, the ice started to thaw on the idea of a new crossover. After years of being out of print, the old crossovers received a reprint in omnibus format. Fans started to wonder if something was up. Turns out something was indeed going on behind the scenes. We have no idea who the creative teams will be for DC/Marvel and Marvel/DC, much less what the length of each one-shot will be. We imagine big-name creators will jump at the chance to see Avengers face off against the Justice League again, or the X-Men take on the Teen Titans once more. Heck, this means DC President Jim Lee might even draw the X-Men again. That alone is worth the cover price. We expect more news in the months ahead, particularly at Comic-Con in San Diego this coming summer, with Superman and Fantastic Four both hitting theaters this July. It's a guarantee to be a joint summer for the big 2. Now it looks like that synergy will extend onto the printed page for the second half of 2025. Vince says, which is wild. Yes, this is insane. I didn't think this would happen again, honestly. And yeah, it's only 2 issues, so it's not a lot.
Cool.
And whatever amount we can afford to buy of them, they will sell forever. So
Nice.
it's
A good time.
really a question of like how many we can afford to buy.
Also, on the topic of comic books, do we have the first Absolute Wonder Woman here at the house?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to read it.
It's very good.
I was reading along with you kind of the other day, and like I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Oh, it's incredible.
So I definitely would like to.
Shiki, I know Shiki just said BRB. And Shiki said BRB, the garbage people left out our cans the fucking road again. But Absolute Wonder Woman is a very Shiki ass book. It's a very everyone ass book. Like, it's so great. Like, I am at the most part like this Absolute universe. Like, the books have been good, and I do like this idea. Typically, I would like this idea of like, hey, we're gonna do like a darker, as passe as it feel, like the darker take on like the DC universe or whatever, right? Like it feels like the silly overdone thing, right? But what it does is it gives like a new chance to like reboot continuity. I find the darker part whatever, right? And especially right now, I'm just not at a point that that's what I need out of my that's not what I need out of my escapism. The world is dark enough. I don't I don't need darker versions of things, right?
Yeah.
That said, Absolute Wonder Woman is a book in which all of Themyscira is destroyed, and so Wonder Woman, instead of growing up in Themyscira, grows up in Hell instead, raised by Circe. And because she's raised by Circe, she is like super witchy now. And so it is like super witchy Wonder Woman with dark twinges, the book, and it fucking rules, and it is the best thing to come out of this Absolute thing. And it's the worst selling one because it's Wonder Woman and nobody cares about Wonder Woman. And
I care about Wonder Woman.
I mean, I do too. I'm just saying, just like, it's just, it's that book's really good. I'm really excited for it. The other stuff has been good too, and it's like it's funny because like the Batman one is the one that is making all the money and the one that people are the most excited about. And that's the Absolute Batman #1 is the book that's like $40 to $50 now, and it's like that's the book that I'm on the whole the least interested in, the least excited for when it shows up every week out of these three Absolute books.
I think the covers are cool. Like visually, I like the covers, but like I could give a fuck less about what Batman's up to if I have to choose between the two. Be Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Are they gonna do any other Absolute stuff?
Yes. The next one I think is we have Absolute Flash and Absolute. There's a bunch of them coming.
Debatable if I'm gonna give a shit about Flash, but anybody else that I
mean, I'll read them all. I'll read the first 5 issues of everything and then kind of stick with what I want to after that. But I forget. There's definitely ones coming up. Let me see if I can find like a cheat guide. According to Wikipedia, yeah, so we have Absolute Flash, which starts March 19th. Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Who the heck is that?
You don't know who Martian Manhunter is?
I probably know of him, but like
green dude who's in the Justice League.
Oh.
He can like morph into anybody.
No, I don't know who that is, but
I
just pictured a little Martian man, so
Absolute Flash should be good because Jeff Lemire because the thing is about these books is like their creative teams are insane. So Absolute Flash should be good because Jeff Lemire is writing it. That's the guy who made like Sweet Tooth and all that stuff. So like I'm not the biggest Flash person either, but like G says John Jones. Nick says Supergirl's best friend. Martian Manhunter, Supergirl's best friend.
I didn't see the comment above.
Manhunter's name is John Jones. John Jones, yes. John Johns. I'm just enjoying all the different yeah, Nick says in the TV show, yeah, they work together. Oh, okay. And then Absolute Green Lantern is happening April 2nd.
Oops. So
yes, there is Flash, Martian Manhunter, and Green Lantern are going to be the next ones. I will read the first 5 of all of them. But Shiki, I think you were gone for this, but like Absolute Wonder Woman, we were talking about, and this is a very you book. When they do it in trade form, I might try to snag one for you because it's she is Themyscira is destroyed, and so she's raised in hell by Circe instead of her usual origin, and so she's very witchy. It fucking rules. She like I didn't know that like watching or reading Wonder Woman that I would be intrigued if you added like real witchiness to her. But it fucking works and works so well. It is such a great comic book. So that's a high recommend on that one. Absolute Superman's been fun too. I like that book a lot. As I said, I like Absolute Batman. It's just not like I'm not like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. And then I'm starting to have a little bit of a hipstery reaction to it as like that's the one that like the number one sells for $40 or $50. And I'm like, guys, it's fine. Like it's
just okay.
Juice says I like how me and Shiki were both like, I like Martian Manhunter at the same time.
Okay. I saw my name up there. And so I was like, what does that comment say? And then you didn't read it. And then I was like, what does that comment say? And my brain could not and now I can't find it.
Is it I love how ADHD energy Lena is today. Unironically, it's deeply amusing and a mood. Is it that one?
Maybe?
Or is it
above? Yes, it was that one. Okay. No, sorry. I saw my name and I was like, what does that say? And then I was hyper fixated on that for like 10 minutes. And I went to ask you. And then I was like, I could just grab my laptop and look. And then the chat was stuck in the conversation about holes for some reason. And it wouldn't like leave that conversation. There we go. I fixed.
Sam said he was Shiki's favorite when I binged all the old cartoons. Yeah, Martian Manhunter is really cool. I will always now compare him to when Jeff Lemire did his own like kind of superhero universe. His stand-in for Martian Manhunter was Barbalian, and that character was super gay. On top of all the Martianness and like that, it's gonna be hard not to think like it wasn't Martian Manhunter, but that was some of the best written Martian Manhunter stuff. And so it's going to be hard to go back, but we'll see. Maybe Absolute Martian Manhunter. Who's writing that?
Hey Jeffrey, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry. How do you make Chrome not like bright white? Like, does Chrome have a night mode?
Probably.
Okay, because like it's hurting. It's weird. It's like it's less like.
If not.
Oh, you know what? I also have that on Twitch. Too.
Yeah, Twitch has a night mode.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
G says he's so nice. I like the serious nice ones. He feels like he'd give really good platonic, awkward hugs. Platonic hugs, to be clear. Friendship, having a bad day hugs.
I mean, I do have Firefox.
G says Jeff's eyes sinking every time a PC question is asked is killing me.
Well, I'm trying to be more like active in the stream and read the comments, but the whiteness of the screen is hurting my eyes. So I'm just like.
Sam says you uninstall.
This is how I become like overly independent, Jeffrey. I'm not gonna ask you for help ever again, and I'm gonna accidentally break this laptop, and you're gonna be like, why?
Sam says you uninstall Chrome and install Firefox and enable dark mode. Yeah, there you go.
Do we have Firefox on here? Yes. I'll just move to Firefox then.
Shiki says, did you see that Google's now removing things that go against their TOS, which is pretty much anything inclusive, especially including LGBT things? Yeah. I was already at I need to move away from Chrome mindset. I just haven't actually done the work. And then that sped it up probably. It's still slow. I'm still slow to do any changing.
Can I be honest? Chrome stressed me out before anyway, because the way that it tried to jam all my stuff together in a way that I couldn't always figure out if I wanted things to be together, synced up and or even just all connected in that way, or do you want to sign in with Google Chrome? And I'm but I have a separate account for this thing. If I sign in with Google Chrome, is that going to mess that up? And then I'm not going to remember my password. And it stressed me out before. And then to add on top of it, this is definitely like
When they stopped working, it stopped being a thing that was like efficient. Is like when you look at like as you're streaming and like, oh, what's bringing my stream down? It's like Chrome has gotten nasty and like it doesn't work super efficiently. And so for them to already like kind of have lost the plot on stuff like that, and then to be
how do you feel about Microsoft Edge? How do you feel about
I feel like Microsoft Edge always is like almost where I want it, but never quite gets there.
Is that a joke?
That was a joke.
Okay, I was trying to. My brain was working through it. Yeah. Well, because at first I was like, it's like, how do you feel about Microsoft edging? And then I was like, no, that sounds wrong. Don't say that. And then my brain was like, but that would be funny. And you were way ahead of me, apparently.
That's like when Skyrim came out, and it was just cracked me up. People are like, man, I was Skyrimming all weekend. Like, don't say it like that.
When Skyrim came out, I was like 16, I think, or 15 or something.
Yeah.
And this guy in my grade that I was going to school, he kept calling it Scrim. And then I was like, oh, it's called Scrim. And then everybody was like, no, it's not. It's called Skyrim. Like, why are you saying it like that? I was like, because he told me it was called Scrim. And I trust him with my life, apparently. And I unironically kept calling it that for like ever. And I was like convinced. And then I forget what convinced me back over that it was Skyrim. But
Lindsay says, I have used Opera GX since my Chrome used to pick up malware all the time. I really like it. Shiki said, we do be Skyrimmin' or Scrimmin'.
Scrimmin'.
Thanks for the scram. Yeah. It's I don't know. I'm definitely gonna probably switch.
I'm downloading Firefox right now. So.
Okay. Yeah, Firefox seems to be I don't know why it felt weird when everyone was dumping Firefox for Chrome.
I don't know why I'm downloading anything. Never mind, because like I need to reset this computer essentially, and like I'm just gonna have to reinstall it. But I keep forgetting that because Jeff wouldn't help me restart it earlier
in the middle of a show.
Dude, it would have taken like 5 seconds. And you know what? You've gone off on tangents before in the middle of a show.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody wants to like just watch us reformat a laptop.
Keep things interesting. I'm not gonna just sit here and be like, "This is his laptop." What's going on with the laptop? We can be entertaining and reset a laptop.
Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Chrysler.
Merry Chrysler. We love keeping you safe. Our nonprofit-backed browser helps stop companies from secretly following you around the web. Look at that. We're hugging. Firefox is hugging. Or I'm hugging Firefox.
Oh, nice.
I don't really know.
Google is censoring diversity, equity, inclusion, terminology, and content. Okay. This past week, we received notifications of Google first removing parts of our website, Google site, then targeting our Google slide presentations on Antibuzz and anti-racist art education and other presentations with similar terminology. All this happened right after they had gone with the rebranding of the Gulf of America. Google is moving the same direction as Meta and promoting government propaganda while attempting to silence discussions around diversity, equity, and inclusion. Anything else they deem woke. Cool. What a lovely. It's so okay. So like this is my like big thing that's like very very frustrating is like a big part of the last 4 years of it being harder for me to make money. Is that 4 years ago I watched conservatives leave all these spaces because they were too woke. And
what? I'm not disagreeing. What does that have to do with?
Well, because now the flip side is happening, and these spaces are like, no, we're doing this. And then it's like, it's not like people are signing. It's not like those people that I saw leave 4 years ago are like suddenly showing back up. It's like Facebook is still, it's just more people now are leaving Facebook, and they're like, now we have to leave. And it's just like, it's this weird, like, diminishing returns. And then it's like these tech companies are like, well, maybe we can get the people from 4 years ago back. And it's just like, what the fuck is happening anywhere to any? I don't understand. Why is Zuckerberg like going in front of Congress like 8 years ago to be like, hey, yeah, no, I played a part in this, or like, it like, I'm so sorry for like what we're gonna start like censoring and doing this and doing everything, and now he's like, psych, we're gonna go back to our roots and blah blah blah. I don't understand what anything's happening.
Money.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not just the money, because it's like, I watched everyone leave 4 years ago. Those people aren't coming back.
Do you think that this blueprint of how they're operating before versus now is making them more money? Like, I'm confused.
I don't know.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
What I'm thinking is just that they're making more money this way, so they don't care about that.
Sam
stuff.
says their user base has never mattered. When they get so much money from the government, that's all they care about.
Yeah, and the government is openly very
In that direction now.
conservative
Yeah.
and openly awful, and just it's loud, and they're loud and proud and terrible now, and like, so of course they're gonna kind of like eke back over to that section because that's what's making them the most money.
Sam says big tech is filling out the user gap with AI run accounts. Shareholders can't tell the difference. That actually makes that all make sense. Thank you, Sam. Because like, that's been my question is just like, you guys have lost a user base and now you're losing more user base. It's not like you're,
So you were saying like the right wing whatever people left because Facebook was too woke,
yes.
and now
And it was
people
fact
who are
checking them.
uncomfortable on Facebook are leaving too, but the right people, the right leaning people, aren't coming back.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, I don't see any shortage of right-leaning people on Facebook. There's a lot of them still on there.
Well, a lot of them were still there, but
they
I'm
do
saying
be on there, and they do be loud and rude. But like,
right, but like the way that like stuff for the store, like we do sales and we do, auctions over on Facebook and do that kind of stuff. And the user base of people that used to see those things was about 4 times with more actually like followers and stuff. We used to have like 4 times the engagement on that kind of stuff.
Engagement just overall sucks now.
Right,
though.
because there's less real people, and to Sam's point, they've like filled that gap with like AI. But that's what I'm saying. This movement is just alienating more real people, which are now leaving. So they're gonna have to fill the gap with even more not real people.
This is also stressful.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying like you're stressing me out. I'm just saying like it's all really like I don't use Facebook nearly as much as I used to anymore. Like like again, even if I had like even if I was okay with what they were doing, which I'm not, like I was posting, and like people that I was friends with like were seeing nothing except like ads and still like just stuff like that, and it would be the same for my end where I wouldn't see my friends' posts, and I would have to literally go to their profile and be like, oh, like I have to like, because sometimes I'd be like, oh, did this person delete me? And it's like, no, that just Facebook hasn't shown me any update in like 3 days, and instead I'm seeing a bunch of AI generated weirdness.
Yeah, and we used to be able to sell things better on Facebook because we'd get a lot of casual engagement of someone who would just be like fucking around on Facebook and then be like, oh, they're doing another dollar auction, let me poke my head in there, like, oh neat, I'll throw,
yeah,
I'll bid on 1 or 2 of these things. And then it's like, now it's like that kind of stuff can still work on Facebook, but it has to be very much like we are doing this auction. Please go to the
Yeah.
people have to know what's happening and go specifically there.
But you can't post things like auction or live show or anything that is, because then Facebook somehow thinks that that's engagement bait and then pushes you lower in the algorithm, even though literally we're just trying to like run a comic show for our small business, but they will push like bigger corporations up or like this AI generated stuff up or anything like that. But they won't. They'll then like push the people who are just like, "Hey, we're doing a comic show." Like,
the answer then would be like, "Oh, so you should spend money on advertising." But it's like that also doesn't work like it used to,
doesn't.
because we used to spend a lot of money on advertising on Facebook, and it's still, for better or worse, the most active one around here. But it's become.
I'm hopeful with Whatnot. I think we could make a full transition over to Whatnot, and I think that would be.
Nick says, they're getting so much blowback from that though, because it's terrible and no one wants the fake content. It was one thing when they were showing more group content because your friends were not as active, but the fake content and awful clickbait video content. Just bring back MySpace already. Yeah.
That would be nice.
GU says, it's the end of the world as we know it. Now I feel fine. Yeah. Sam says, I do not miss Facebook. I hung on to it for family for a long time, but it was just getting creepy and bigoted, so I completely deleted it in October. Nick says, it's just strange days. Like, I remember how long it took the world to adjust and figure out the internet. Like it or not, AI is bigger than the internet, but no one wants to wait for anything now. So rush it out, which translates to user burnout on companies publicly testing things as if they were final products. Sam says, sounds like you guys should move platforms. I mean, yes and no. There are some people that just will never follow. I mean, look at, this is streaming right now over on YouTube, because after a year of telling people like, hey guys, you should come over to Twitch. The water's real nice.
It's nice over here.
People did not follow, and for those people, I'm also streaming this over on YouTube, because when we were streaming it on Facebook, as well as this, it was just causing so many problems, that some of the same problems we're talking about. So, and it was making those problems worse, right? GU says, I have a hurricane. Listen to yourself turn. World Series serves its own. Yep, all those. Yep. Sam says, I was in YouTube, but you never read the chat. Yeah, I could do the restream chat so I could see both at the same time. Sam said, I watched half the stream on YouTube today. I don't have Twitch mobile. Okay. Maybe we should start doing the restream chat.
Yeah, because like, what if somebody is watching live on YouTube? Jeff? I must be, I don't know what is going on with my brain. I thought that like the stream wasn't live, but it was automatically uploading to YouTube later. I didn't know we were live right now on YouTube. If anybody's watching on YouTube and you're talking, I'm so sorry. Like, why aren't we paying attention to YouTube too?
Because I do the YouTube one for like literally like 2 people.
Maybe, but
now 3 because Sam's over there.
Maybe someone else is over there too. Like if you're live, like.
But like we tried to concentrate down on what was working for us, which was the Twitch stuff.
I know.
It tried to like push everyone here, but like a bunch of people didn't follow.
There's a secret Dork Duck channel?
Jeff runs the stream to a different YouTube channel, the secret Dork Duck channel. I don't know that it's a secret. We were pushing it real hard in the early days of Dork Duck. The Dork Duck Daily YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, sorry. We have a lot of.
We have 2 YouTube channels.
That's a lot. Oh boy.
Sam has 2 YouTube channels. Most people have like a number of them.
Yeah, but, I don't know. Are you sure we just have 2?
I mean, if you want to count the like now long abandoned, haven't done anything on it in forever Rad Raptor YouTube channel, I guess there's 3. But
Okay.
like, there's been nothing there.
Well, I have my YouTube channel, But I don't touch that.
And we had one for Nimsy, when we were that I talked about repurposing into the Dork Duck stuff, but you very much wanted to keep all of that in its own thing. So you had to exit if we ever didn't work out.
I didn't want it as an exit if we didn't work out. I just know that at some point I might want to do something like more solo-y. Not like I'm leaving this complete.
Sam says YouTube chat is popping off.
Is it really?
Have fun talking here, nerds. It's supposed to. Oh yeah, if we go in here, it's supposed to show us the chat for both. It's not working. Wow, Jeff didn't even mod me here. Shake my head. Who the fuck is Julia? Hi, Julia. I don't know who you are. Says, hey, Sam, how's the weather? Okay, bye.
I didn't even know that window existed, bro.
Where we can see both? Oh, that's GU. Oh, hi, GU. It's pretty cozy here. How's Sweet?
No, but like, to address your, like, you're gonna branch off away from Dork Duck, I don't ever, like, want to do just my own thing, but, like, at some point, I think it makes sense because I could see myself doing, like, resin stuff or, like, art stuff, and, like, yes, we could do that here on the Dork Duck channel, but it's been mainly, like, morning show and gaming here.
But
So-
the other Nimsy channel has been, like, just gaming.
Yeah, I know, but when we stopped doing gaming on that channel, I still wanted to keep it for if I ever wanted to do anything like that.
Yeah, but there was a bunch of followers there that had we just, like, converted that channel, we would have, like, started.
That stresses me out.
Why does that stress you out?
I don't know.
It's fine. Like, but that's part of why we have so many is, like, I would have just rolled that one over.
I wish. I don't know.
I didn't want to roll the Rad Raptor one over because it didn't make sense to me to, like...
Wish someone would roll me over
Okay.
with a snow plow.
Nick says...
Tired and my back hurts.
Nick says the sad thing is when MySpace advertised us to death and we left, the only other options were LiveJournal and Facebook, so everyone moved to Facebook.
Oh, I remember LiveJournal. That was nice.
Any migration now means you're going to lose friends and followers because instead of 2 options, there's 20, and none of them are in their final form yet. Every platform starts cool, but overhead costs increase as user base increases, so you need to monetize more heavily, and bam, we're back where we are now. Yes, I did. It's the biggest problem is that we are a generation of people that were trained that things should be free. Now, not making an ethical judgment on whether or not things should be free. I'm just saying we were trained as early internet consumers that things should be free, and that should be the expectation. And things, like it or not, we live in a world where things cost money. And so we could have really good spaces if we
should go
paid
back
for
to
them.
the bartering system. I'd like to trade a trinket for another trinket, or a trinket for a bag of grapes, or this fabric Febreze spray for 9 oranges. Like that.
Sam was said I was trained that nothing was free, and if it was a free service, I was a product. I mean, yes,
I had to pay for RuneScape.
That is all true.
I grew up having to pay for RuneScape membership, so I don't think everything is free. And I had to buy my Gaia Online marketplace dollars or whatever the hell they were called.
No, but I'm saying like the amount
What
of times
were they called?
like something cool in town closes, and like people are like, "How could this ever close?" And then when you talk to people, no one was going there and spending money, and it's like, yeah, like things don't get to just exist; they exist because they make money. Because unfortunately, that's what we live in.
Gold.
Gold we live in.
No, that's what it's called, is gold. on Gaia.
She uses Gaia Online. Oh my god.
I just want to go back. I just want to go back. Take me back. Put me in a fucking time machine and take me back to when I was like 11 years old and on Gaia. Should I have been? Probably not. Was I role playing with possibly adults? I don't know. But like everything just felt better about the internet then. It had its problems. I'm not sitting there being like, also I was 11, so like
She says, add me on Gaia, Lita. Let's go back. It's
I
2003
can't.
again.
I can't log into my account. I don't I don't even remember the username because I changed it so many times. Because as Jeff is articulating with the like, oh, you wanted to keep our other YouTube channel and not integrate it, is like I would just make new accounts instead of just changing.
Yeah.
The username. Yeah.
Nick says LiveJournal was basically just Reddit with no organization other than these are my friends. Your feed was just your friends' post, and then expand to see comments. That's how it was in 99 to 2005 ish when I was familiar with it. How it is now or what it became, I don't know. Yeah, same. I used to be on Bloop Diary, which was like a UK version of LiveJournal, and that I think still exists in some form. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's gonna be anything. We need either a publicly funded space, which I don't think is going to happen, or if it does happen, it's going to be gross, or we need a space that we pay for. And I also don't see that happening because as soon as you're like, hey, you guys should spend money for this thing, people run away. So I don't know what the answer is. It's going to be gross and weird for a while, probably. She says my entire background of Gaia was art of the Itachi from Naruto. That's cool. She says I deny 16-year-old me's right to pick men.
Same.
I think Selena would agree with you there.
Both fictional men and non-fictional men.
Shiki said I never did Gaia Online, but I did Neopets and then AOL chat rooms and then my yearbook. I did, yeah.
Does anybody remember IMVU? Oh my god, I got in so much trouble for playing IMVU. You know how we get after our kids for playing like
VR chat,
like Roblox
yeah.
and VR chat and like gacha and stuff. The IMVU was that for me. I got in so much trouble because like I was just out there being a little scoundrel.
Shiki says my yearbook was like super horny MySpace. G says cool. The joke there was Itachi was so edgy, and my 16-year-old, I was like, I'm deep. I can change him energy.
Jeff has never. Wait, have you watched Naruto?
I
almost said
really.
that Jeff's never watched Naruto, and then I realized I don't know if you ever have.
Not really, no.
Oh, okay.
Sam says this is how I learned that Gio goes for Shane in Stardew.
I almost did.
Because you think you can fix him. You do. I often like the amount that you easily go for like assholes and stuff and media and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, what? And then I remember that I'm a reformed asshole. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Except I didn't meet you when you were an asshole.
I wasn't good. I was better.
You were just sad. You were just a sad boy.
Yeah, but like
you weren't like mean though.
No, although like I didn't take good care of you.
I beg to differ, I guess, but
Shiki said my sister did the penguin thing and then tried to go to IMVU, but I unilaterally decided she wasn't allowed to. Nice, good job.
Did the penguin thing?
What the fuck was that thing called?
Oh my god, I know what you're talking about. Club Penguin.
Yeah.
Oh
Nick says
God.
MySpace was the best dating website because there was so much general chat with strangers on posts from MySpace to MyPlace, baby. Sam says, I marry Shiki or have Krobos move in. I don't have time to buy Stardew Love.
Krobus.
G says, I never marry Maru, though, because my policy in any farm game is marry neighbors because I'm lazy and she's so far away. I always went for, what is it, Leah?
I went for Penny
Yeah.
because I was like, her mom seemed mean, and I was like, oh, you live with your mom in like an RV, like I need to help you. I don't know if that was the right read on her life or not. To be fair, when I play Stardew, I don't focus on townspeople. I've tried to in my most recent Stardew playthroughs, but when I played Harvest Moon Back to Nature, though, I married Ellie, the nurse. She was like the original like girl that I was just like, this is my wife, and I love her. I was
Same-
like 12.
Sam said, Lena, her mom seemed mean. I can fix her. G said, I married Joe and HM Magical Melody because... Oh, Harvest Moon Magical Melody, because I moved to the beach house and he was my neighbor and I liked unchopped wood. True love that one. All right. We're going to raid Sam soon. So I'm going to start winding down here.
Ow.
What?
I said ow because I just tried
Oh.
to crack my finger and it hurt.
Shiki said, I've married Elliot, Emily, Sebastian, and Harvey, and of course, Sam. She says, you like trash, you seem like father material. Please go check out our YouTube, the other YouTube, the non-secret YouTube, as Sam refers to it. I put a lot of work into that. I got to put more work into it today, so we have a video going up tomorrow. There we have edited down gameplay stuff, so you can watch like full playthroughs of things, and it's not like you have to sit down for hours and hours and hours. It's more like, hey, you can sit down and, you know, watch a little like 20-minute thing while you eat a sandwich and be like, oh, cool. These are the highlights of them playing through that very game. And so please go check that out. We put a lot of work into it. We're nearing up to 50 subscribers, which is cool. I don't think you unlock anything magical at YouTube at 50. It's just a neat round number that we'd like to see happen. But yeah, we keep putting more and more work into that, so please go check that out. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/dorkduck. What exactly we're going to be using that for? Like we need to be figuring out what special content and stuff we're going to be putting up there. When we first started the Dork Duck journey almost exactly a year ago, we did our Silent Hill playthroughs up there and only up there. It is $5 a month, which is like the price of like a comic or a coffee or something, and it's a huge help stabilizing everything we do around these parts, because it's basically, it doles out that money right at the point that we got to pay bills. So and as y'all know, because a lot of you are in the same boat, the small business life is sometimes unstable and wild and weird, and it's nice to have something that's a little more predictable coming month to month, and we try to make it worth your while. There's cool stuff on there. There's a whole bunch of content that is only up on there, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff that you get, like stickers and other such things that are hanging out there. We also have raid messages. They look like that or that, based on if you have if you're subscribed and able to use our emotes or not. But we still want you to be able to go bug Sam. Please be kind to our friends. It's always the important thing to say. I don't know if he's ready yet. Yes, he is. Okay. This is where we say, be honest, be kind, be useful, live a good fucking life. We love you all. I will be live later today. doing a Final Fantasy from like 3 to 6. I'll see you then. But otherwise, thank you for being beautiful, amazing, wonderful humans.
Have a great day.
Yeah, we love you guys.
Goodbye.
Goodbye now. I still have to hit the other button.
Okay.
So that's half like first goodbye. And then at some point this will let me do the full goodbye thing. All right. Bye, friends.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.